Listen and follow along as I read pages 26 through 48 on Martin Luther King and the March on Washington. Notice the people in the pictures and what they are doing. Page 26. On August 28, 1963, at 11:30 a.m., the March on Washington began. The crowd marches to the Lincoln Memorial. As they walk, the people sing, "We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday." Later, there are many speakers. They stand on the step of the memorial in front of Lincoln's statue. Each person talks about freedom. The marchers sit on the grass and listen, and they know that today history is being made. By noon, the sun is very hot. Some people take off their shoes and cool their feet in the pool. Bag lunches are sold. Each one has a cheese sandwich, an apple, and a slice of pound cake, all for 50 cents. The high point of the day comes at 3 o'clock. The crowd grows quiet. A young black man takes the stage. He looks at the crowd. There are people as far as he can see. The man's name is Martin Luther King Jr. He is a preacher and the son of a preacher. He has grown up in Georgia. He knows all about what it is like to be a black person in the South. Dr. King is a man of peace, but he is also a fighter. He doesn't use his fists or weapons. He uses words. In the South, Dr. King has led many other protests. One was at a march in Georgia. Another was a protest against a bus company in Alabama. He has been put in jail many times. There are threats against his life. Some people want him dead, but that does not stop him. Today in Washington, Dr. King speaks words of hope. His speech is about his dream for a better world. He says, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin." He hopes that people will see all children for who they are and for the things they do in their lives. It is his dream that one day little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and girls. Dr. King speaks for 16 minutes and 20 seconds. His voice rises and falls. The crowd leans forward. They want to hear every word. 9 times Dr. King says, "I have a dream." When Dr. King finishes, there is silence. Then 250,000 people start to clap and to cheer, and some people are so moved by his words, they cry. People all around the world watch Martin Luther King Jr. on TV. So does President John F. Kennedy. By early evening, people start back to their cars, to buses, and to trains, and to planes. It is time to go home. The march has ended, but that is not the end of the story. 1 year later, a law is passed. It is called the Civil Rights Act of 1964. From now on, there cannot be restaurants for white only. There cannot be separate seating for Black people and white people in any public place. People cannot be kept apart just because of their skin color. It does not change everything, but it is a beginning, and the power of the word, the words of Dr. King and others, changed the law of the land. Now that we have finished reading pages 26 to 48 of Martin Luther King Jr. and the March on Washington, what was one thing that you found interesting about these pages? And then think about the entire gist from these pages. What happened